Now we're back to learning Gimp, and this time I'm going to show you how to use the recursive transform menu. You can use it to create a geometric shapes, for example. I'll start here with a black background. And under filter I go to render and use the gfig, which can be used to render a geometric object. You should see your canvas right here in this window. You can add a grid and make it snap, but we don't need this for our example. Let me pick a polygon. You could also create rectangles, ellipses, circles with it. Let me increase it so that we have a hexagon, then left click and drag, and it should appear on your canvas. Afterwards you can still adjust the stroke and the fill color. Let me make it, for example, red with no stroke. And this is a good place to start for us. I close it. So I've got my background and a hexagon, and I crop the hexagon to content under layer. You can still scale it up and rotate it, so you can treat this object like any object in Gimp. When you've got what you want, it's a good idea to use the alignment menu right here, left click on it, put it in center. So again, the bounding box might be bigger now, so layer, crop to content, this is what we need later on. Right click on this layer, alpha to selection, and then we want to edit and stroke selection. But first let me open a new layer. It's important that it's transparent, I call it stroke shape. And now I go to edit and stroke selection. So that way I will have my stroke on a different layer. Solid color is the foreground color, in this case it's white for me. And I use 20 pixels as line width. I confirm via stroke. So here we have the stroke now on a new layer, and I go to select none. And I don't need the gfig anymore, so a hexagon. I'll go to my stroke layer. And now we can go to map and use recursive transform. Now you can see what happens when you don't crop it to content. So this box is way too big, and when I drag it now, we're not going to have what we truly want, because it's going to adjust it to the size of the entire canvas. So go to layer, crop to content for the stroke. Our bounding box now is way smaller, and if we use recursive transform again, we can only adjust this. There are 3 ways you can adjust it. When you are outside of this rectangle, you can rotate it. When you are inside it, you can adjust it like so in this dimension. But there's also this diamond inside, and it transforms it in a different dimension. So make sure that you've got the right one. And you also have to add your keys, so Control, Shift and such, before you click on it. So don't worry if that was too fast. I click on reset. I go to the outer rectangle, and then I hold shift and control, and then I left click and drag it inside. So again, it's important to first hold the keys and then drag, otherwise it's not going to work. Now I go outside, and then I can rotate it with the left click. I don't hold any keys for that, and we're good here. I use 20 iterations, which is the maximum. First iteration would get rid of the first ones, so we can keep that to 0. You can play around with the opacity and the colors right here. We don't need it for this tutorial. Don't forget to confirm when you're done. And this is how you can create these geometric shapes using the recursive transform. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.